subject. It's so dumb. I'm over it. Stop it. Stop doing it. Stop. Anyways.
You are a man. Shut the fuck up.
Nigga, do you got something you want to say?
Don't worry about me. I'm a boss.
Hi, Straw Besties. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since my last What's on NINI'S Mind. I think my last one was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, this is another What's on NINI'S Mind, except this one is gonna have a slightly different format. So last week I had watched the new movie He's All That. It's basically a remake of She's All That from, I want to say, the 90s. I don't know. I watched majority of the stuff that came out in the 90s in the early 2000s because obviously I wasn't born in the 90s. I was born like at the tail end, 99. So yeah, I'm pretty sure though it's from either the 90s or early 2000s. Whatever. You get the point. It's a remake. And while I was watching it, I had a lot of thoughts. I shared my thoughts on my spam, of course. It wasn't good. And it's not to say I didn't go into it thinking that it wouldn't be good, but I know how people are when it comes to things that are catered for teens, especially for if it's like the main character is a girl, you know. I know how people get. Like, the media doesn't like teenage girls liking things, you know? So I went into it not thinking it would be as bad as everybody is like trying to make it out to seem, you know? But oh boy, it was so bad. It was really bad. Like, it was shockingly bad. So much to the point that I was stopping the movie to go look up the credentials to see like who worked on the movie because I couldn't believe. I was like, there's no way that this movie is this bad. Only for me to find out that the people who worked on the movie worked on also Mean Girls and the original. Yeah, they had like, I think the costume designer also worked on the original. It's just like, wow, have the grades fallen? They have fallen. The movie is so bad, and I mean bad in all aspects. The music choices wasn't good. The characters wasn't good. Only good characters were the two lesbians, the East Asian girl and the South Asian girl. Only good characters. Everybody else, bad. Bad. I cannot, capital B, bad. Like, oh my god. The costume designing, terrible. The writing, terrible. The direction, fire that director. The Fall from Grace, he also directed Mean Girls as well as the original. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, Hollywood must have been rough for you in these past few years. It must have. But then again, he also directed Vampire Academy, and that was not a good movie. So like, didn't he also directed Freaky Friday as well? I'm pretty sure one of them worked on Freaky Friday. I can't remember who it was, but one of them did. And it's just like, wow. Like, you would think bringing originals onto the new movie would, like, I guess, help it be grounded in what the original gave, I guess. But it's not. It's not. It's just bad. I think all of them need to be banned from working on any other movie. I think they all need to be out of work. Like, it was so bad, y'all. And it was so bad that I had to go back to my comfort movies and watch those to like get over it. Because I'm like, that was just, how can you make a movie? When I tell you, it's even worse than The Kissing Booth. And The Kissing Booth was a movie that I hate watched because it's so bad that it's good. You know? This is not that type of movie. It's just a bad movie. It's just a bad movie. It gave me like 1 or 2 laughs. And that's it. And I'm just like, no. No. You are not a good romantic comedy. You need to be abolished. Addison Rae, I think this was her first acting gig. Let it be her last. She is a terrible actor. Nothing, like, there were scenes where I was like, she's not that good, but she's not that bad. And then when she got emotional, then I was like, oh no, this is horrible. She is awful. Like, awful. Yikes. Like, if she was on like a Disney Channel movie, I could like excuse it, but you're on like Netflix. Like, at that point, your acting is so bad that it's noticeable compared to like the other works on this platform. But whatever. So that's what led me to make this video where I speak about like my favorite characters in different medias, which is like shows, movies, etc. Because I had to go and watch my comfort shows, and these are like, I guess you could say, my comfort characters. So that's why this What's on NINI'S Mind is kind of different. I could have just spent this video like ranting about how bad all of that is, but I didn't want to do that. Like, I don't want to talk for over 30 minutes about something I just didn't like. Plus, it's not worth talking about. I feel like the movie isn't even worth like critiquing. Like, it's just that bad that there's just nothing to say. It's just bad, you know? I thought that it would be better to spend my time speaking about something that I love, and, you know, maybe suggesting some favorites that you guys can rewatch and see, because there are characters on here that, like, once again, like the thumbnail says, literally changed the trajectory of my life. Okay, so we're gonna begin. Alright, so first of all, this isn't like a ranking, so none of them are ranked, but if I had to speak about my favorite character of all time, it would have to be Lara Jean from To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Now, I'm speaking solely on the movies, not the books. I have started to get into the books, but the movie character is like who I really identify with. So, just saying that right off the bat. I don't think I've ever found myself in another character so much as I do with Lara Jean. Lara Jean is just, she is so special to me. Like, I accept no slander from her. I think there's so many aspects of her that I just identify with. Like, I'm like, yes, we're the same person. We are. Her viewpoint on love. Lara Jean is someone who, she reads a lot of romance novels, and she gets very deep into the fantasy, and she dreams about the perfect lover and the perfect scenarios, and everything has to be perfect. Lara Jean basically feels like romance should be perfect. She reads a lot of romance books, and she gets deeply into the fantasy itself. But because she is a pessimist, she believes that no one could truly ever love her, and she doesn't believe, since she knows that she wants everything to be perfect, she can't settle for less, and she knows that perfection doesn't exist, hence her pessimism. So she just doesn't believe in true love, and it's not in a way that she's like negative about it. It's because she's scared. She even says it, she admits it, that it's cool to read about romance. Like, it's cool to read it in a book, but to imagine that in real life, it's scary to have to trust somebody, to have to just know that somebody likes you and is in love with every single part of you. Like, that's scary, and I identify with that because I was definitely the type of person, especially in high school, where I get so wrapped up in like just love stories, whether that be from romance, rom-coms, or like fan fiction. Like, I get so wrapped up in that relationship, but to ever see that relationship play out in real life, no, I would totally be like, that will never happen. I was just like her. Like, there's no way that somebody could ever like me but be perfect enough for my standards, or be perfect enough for me. Because just because somebody likes you doesn't mean that they're like your perfect match, you know? And throughout the movie, it's just like she's constantly pushing Peter away. Throughout the first movie, by the way, that's what I'm speaking about. She's constantly like pushing Peter away, and she doesn't even realize it. Like, and she's not doing it because she's trying to be mean per se. She's doing it like out of naivete, and she's doing it to protect herself. It's out of naivete because she didn't have a boyfriend before, so she doesn't really know that, oh, I'm not supposed to say this, and I'm not supposed to react to something this way, you know? But it's also out of a way to protect herself because she knows that at the end of the day, this is just a fake dating plan between them, and she doesn't want to get hurt in between that, you know? Even though she kind of is, because she started developing feelings, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, she's trying to protect herself. And once again, like, I feel that, like, it's scary to have somebody have feelings for you. It's very scary, like, and I tend to, like, not accept it, and I tend to be like, I try to do everything in my power to sabotage that. Self-sabotage. Laura Jean does it a lot, and I do it a lot as well, where you just, like, there is somebody that is clearly interested in you, but you refuse to believe it. And I just find that so good. Like, it's so, like, I'm not going to say it's so rare, but the way that Laura Jean expresses it throughout the movie feels rare to me, because, like, I've never related to a character so much when she spoke about her feelings and whatnot. What else about Laura Jean that I just genuinely love? She's also very shy, just like me. I'm very shy as well, and I relate to her feelings when she didn't want to go to, like, parties and stuff, and she feels that, like, throughout the entire trilogy, where she feels like, I guess, out of place because she's dating someone popular, so now everybody knows her, the attention is on her. I felt that before, especially when I was in a relationship with somebody who loves parties, and it made me feel uncomfortable to have to, like, go to them, but I wanted to because my partner liked parties, you know? So it's like, to have that attention on you, I hate it. I very much prefer to be a fly on the wall. I don't really like when people know me and they know I'm here, and it's just like, like, no, leave me alone, please, don't talk to me, you know? So I also relate to her on that aspect as well. She loves thrifting and shopping from SD, and I really like that. What else? There's just so many good aspects to her. I can't bake, but I want to bake, and trust me, when I learn how to bake, the world will be over. It is over for everybody. I'm going to be baking, like, cookies and brownies and cupcakes. The book actually features some recipes. When I learn how to bake, it is over for everybody. Like, I'm baking everything in that book, okay? Let that be known. I will be the next, like, master chef or whatever the dessert equivalent to that is, okay? Alright? Are we on the same page? Okay. But yeah, that's why I love Laura Jean, and she's so smart. Like, she's so smart but so stupid at the same time, and that is also me, okay? I don't know so much about the smart part. I'm not smart. I really love in the first movie, the scene between her and Peter, where Peter is, like, trying to explain to her that he likes her, and he likes her regardless of their little fake dating scheme. Like, he actually likes her. And her takeaway from that was, like, dumb. Like, he was like, I went all the way across town to get the snacks that you like for this trip. And her takeaway from that is that he really likes yogurt. Like, and she said that kind of sarcastically, but kind of seriously, because that's, like, who she is. And he was like, you know, for someone so smart, you're so dense. I was like, no, me, alright? Because it's so hard for me to tell when somebody else likes me, especially when somebody else likes me back. Like, I like them and they like me back, but I can never tell. I can literally never tell. Like, they will do the most obvious in your face stuff, and all I will take away from that is like, you're just trying to be friendly to me. You know? So once again, I relate to her so much. Her view on romance, her view on just general life. There's a lot of things that she tends to like. Once again, like the ski trip. She told Peter that she would not go on the ski trip if Chris doesn't go because she knew Chris wouldn't go. Like, that's a form of self-sabotage because you know that your best friend's not going to want to go. Luckily, Chris does go because she wants her and Peter to stay together. Next character. The next characters I have on the list are Daphne and Velma from What's New Scooby-Doo, alright? I had to go just now and look up when Kim Possible came out. Kim Possible is also on this list, by the way. Because I noticed when I rewatched What's New Scooby-Doo, because I rewatched this series I think like 3 times, that Daphne and Kim share a lot in common when it comes to like their quote-unquote combat style and whatnot. So I was wondering if one came out before the other, but they actually both came out the same year. I think that's why I probably love the two of them so much. I've put the pieces together, guys. I put the pieces together, okay? Alright? Daphne has always been one of my favorite Scooby-Doo characters. In the show itself before, because there was a show before that existed in like the 70s, I think, and it's the original, which is Where Are You, Scooby-Doo? I think that's the original. And the original doesn't really have any like plot to it. Like, it's just the same Scooby-Doo formula, but like none of their characteristics, quote unquote, is in it, you know? It's just like funny laughs, haha, Saturday day TT. So TTTV, you know? But What's New Scooby-Doo kind of like a bit gets into it. You know, you get to know them a tad bit better from that series. And when I was growing up watching it, I remember loving Daphne. And as I rewatched it 2 more times, I still love Daphne. Daphne is she's so well written. Like, just as a character model itself, she is so well written, alright? When I was younger, I gravitated towards Daphne because I've always gravitated towards girly characters because I was a girly girl and I liked seeing myself in media. Even when I was young, I really enjoyed seeing myself in the media that I was in, whatever. So she's always been my favorite character, but I think as I grew up, I started to appreciate her even more, especially with the way like superheroes, well, female superheroes are written typically, where you have to have like some sort of masculinity to be respected or in your powers, and it just was, I didn't really like that. No, not I didn't, because that sounds wrong. Not I didn't really like that, but like that was the only way, and I typically hate that. Like, there should be a range when it comes to female superheroes. They shouldn't all basically have this, I don't want to say male gaze because that makes no sense, but they all have something in common. I don't know what I'm trying to say, what they have in common, but like, I know what I'm saying, but I don't know what I'm saying. But with Daphne, her femininity is basically it's not villainized. There we go. Her femininity is not villainized. It's used as her, I guess, power in a way. Like, when she's fighting with someone, she'll use like feminine products that she has in her purse to her advantage in the fight. And it's the same thing Kim Possible does. That's probably when I was rewatching, I was like, Kim does this too. I wonder if this is like, if the same people worked on the show or whatnot. Like, I was very curious about that. Not gonna look into that today because this is not an analysis video. This is just me rambling about characters I love. So yeah, Daphne often solves problems with her femininity. It is not an obstacle that she is ever shamed for or has to get rid of, and I really enjoy that. Yeah, it's really refreshing to see like a feminine character not be demonized for being feminine, and it's really nice to see that she uses her femininity to her advantage, you know? And then we have Velma. I like Velma for like the inner, I guess, quote unquote nerdy side that I have. Like, I really love that Velma is book smart, and I especially love that Daphne is kind of Velma's street smart to her book smart, you know? Velma is very sarcastic, she's very pessimistic, but it's so enjoying to watch when she's written good. And in this series, she is written very good. She always has like very quick, snarky remarks, and I like that about her. She also almost always knows what she's speaking about, and when she doesn't and when she's wrong, she admits that she's wrong, you know? It's nice to see that even though she's very intelligent and she's very smart, she knows that sometimes she may not be right about everything, you know? And although sometimes she does have like meltdowns, like there are a few episodes that I've seen of Scooby where she has a meltdown because she's not right about something, but for the most part she's pretty like accepting that she's not going to get everything right. And I really love that. And I really love the fact that although she's like the book smart nerdy one, once again she isn't demonized for that in the show. Sometimes they like to poke fun or like make jokes at each other, and they do that with Daphne too, but for the most part neither of them are demonized for these qualities that they have, you know? Because Velma could easily be written as like a snarky pick-me type of character, but she never is, and I really love that. I really enjoy that. You know, they are both appreciated for what they bring to the team. Beautiful, beautiful. Give them, I don't know, because they probably already won awards for this. But listen, if you need, not even if you need, if you haven't watched or rewatched What's New Scooby-Doo, you should. It's on Netflix. Either way, I think it's on that soap site that everybody watches like things illegally on. It's most likely on there. You should watch it. It's very good. It's really good. I understand that the monsters aspect of it, you know, the whole they meet the villain 2 minutes in and then get shocked that they are the villain at the end. I understand that that format may be a little bit exhausting, but I think if you need a show to turn your brain off, perfect show. Perfect show. I suggest you watch it. Next character we're gonna get into is obviously Kim Possible. Now, I know the girls might be mad at me. The girly pops might truly be mad at me for not listing Shigo. But listen, alright? I don't dislike Shigo. I love Shigo. I love her for Kim. And that's really the reason why I didn't put her on this list. Because these are characters that changed the trajectory of my life. Did I think Shigo was interesting? Yes. But I thought she was interesting in context of Kim. I think Shigo is a perfect villain for Kim. But outside of Kim, we do not know much about Shigo, and that's why I've always thought it was a little odd. Like, of course you could have a favorite character and not really know that much about them, you know? So I'm not doubting that, but like a lot of people will go to bat and say that Shigo is the most interesting character in Kim Possible, and then you ask them just one thing about Shigo that isn't about the fact that she's undercover lesbian, and they can't give you one fact about Shigo, then you don't like Shigo. Like, you like the idea of Shigo, you don't know her. Like, that's my commentary on it. Like, people are like, and I know that for a fact because we don't learn much about Shigo outside of Kim. I think there's only one time, and that's like way towards the end of Kim Possible, where we finally start to see Shigo outside of Kim. Whenever Shigo appears, Kim is right around the corner. It's not like we ever get time to know her or to see her character development. She does have a character arc, but once again, like I said, it's towards the end. So there's no way, like, stop bullshitting me. Like, say you like Shigo, okay, but to say that she's the best character in the show lost me. You clearly haven't watched the show, like, and I rewatched it. I think it was in 2019. Yeah, I rewatched Kim Possible in 2019 as an adult. I was 20 now, and I genuinely enjoyed it. I love Kim. I love Kim. I love her. I love the fact that, once again, using femininity to your advantage. Kim isn't the most feminine character in the show. In fact, it's Bonnie, and I know Bonnie's the bully, but like, there are moments in the show that, like, this is modern feminism. Like, there are moments in the show where Kim even draws the line, and she's not mean to Bonnie, and she like understands that, you know, Bonnie acts this way because of this. And I really like that, and it made me realize that Disney Channel didn't always used to be this way. Like, Disney Channel didn't always used to villainize the very feminine character. If you look at the shows that are like late 90s to like early 2000 Disney Channel shows, you start to realize that there are a lot of female characters in the show that just exist, even though if some of them are bullies, they aren't demonized. You know, you aren't made to hate them all the way, because especially because the main character emphasizes to you that, you know, this person is still human, you know, even though they're a little mean sometimes, they're still human. I don't know what happened. It was like, it must have been the start of High School Musical, like around 2006, where Disney Channel just like flipped the script and just decided that no, every female character needs to be, not female character, every character that's like a girly girl needs to be mean, and we need to villainize them to the point of no return. I think maybe because like they didn't used to do that before, so people tend to gravitate towards the girly characters that were mean, and they didn't really see a problem with it, because obviously this is media and everybody can interpret it the way they want. But after 2006, something just took like a turn. Like, every single girly girl character in the Disney Channel show after 2006 is just like, she is made out to be like the devil, and it's just like, holy shit, whoa. Let's rewind. Like, you have to do all that. And Kim Possible didn't. They made sure, at the very least, by the end, even when Bonnie doesn't get exactly her happy ending, because of course she couldn't. Like, Bonnie had done so much bad shit at the end of Kim Possible, there was no way she was gonna get a happy ending, but there are still points in the show that they make sure to emphasize that Bonnie is still human, and she still has like things in her life that makes her act the way she does. In the same way that Regina she's the villain of Mean Girls, but Katie, by the end of it, makes sure to tell everybody that, you know, not everybody is a one-dimensional villain, I guess you could say. Like, just because just because Regina is a mean girl doesn't mean she's not still human, and we could all become a mean girl if it just takes the right circumstances, you know, especially in a high school setting where that's where most of Disney Channel's content takes place, in a high school setting. And that's why Mean Girls was really a movie that changed my life and my perspective on a lot of media, especially that features girly girls, which is in Disney Channel, because you start to realize that these characters, I don't think, when I look at Disney Channel shows, I don't think, why is she so mean? She needs to stop being so mean. I think, what is making her be mean? Like, what is she going through behind the scenes that's making her lash out like that? That's basically my viewpoint after watching Mean Girls. And Kim Possible very much carried that theme, you know, and I really like that. Although Bonnie got her just dues, listen, she had to get them, they still made sure to emphasize that she is human throughout the series. And they even do that with Shigo. Shigo gets she gets her just dues, but they make sure to emphasize that Shigo is still a human. Even though she is the villain, she's still a human, you know? And I just really love that. I really love Kim Possible. I really love Kim. Kim, even though like she fights with her brothers, she's still there for her brothers. She doesn't let anybody mess with her brothers. She's an amazing friend as well. And I'm sure the writers included this. I noticed because another show that I also love, which I'm going to talk about literally later because she's on the list, is American Dragon Jake Long, and the character is Trixie. Both Trixie and Kim have an episode in their shows where they have to like confront their femininity. So I'm pretty sure it happens with Kim when her and Ron have this like they're starting to get into that weird part of their relationship where they start to realize they're liking each other and blah 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 blah. No, I think it was before that because Ron was crushing on Bonnie still. And Ron had made an offhand comment about like how Kim is not that girl. Like she's not the girly girl. She's like chill, she's tomboy, and that hurts Kim's feelings. And she has like this whole little like makeover, no. The same thing happens to Trixie in American Dragon Jake Long, except she does this for like a plan, but it still counts as like the same thing where she volunteers to be like a cheerleader. And you know, that's like girly, and Trixie is more of a tomboy. And both Spud basically tells Trixie that, oh, like she's not that type of girl, you know? She's a tomboy, she's boyish, she's not like a girly girl. And so does Jake. Jake laughs at the idea, and Trixie gets so upset she goes full girly on them. And I really love those type of episodes, even though they tend to end with, you know, the main character saying like, oh, that's not me, blah 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 blah. But I really like that they stand up for femininity, you know, like they're like, okay, this isn't me, but you don't get to say that. You as a man don't get to say that. And it happens in both of those shows, and I really love that because like, who are you? Like, I feel like, especially when it comes to tomboy characters, their male counterparts tend to get a little too comfortable with saying, like, speaking on femininity, and, you know, basically being like, well, my best friend is the cool girl, and like all these girly girls are so lame and this and that. And I feel like that also happens in real life. So I really like those parts of the show that like they stand up for that, you know. And I just love Kim. I love Kim's attitude. She is very much, you know, her name, Kim Possible. She makes everything possible, and she's so optimistic. It's just so inspiring. That sounds dramatic, but listen, I love dramatics. I didn't even say that with Laura Jean. That was another part of Laura Jean that I really loved. Laura Jean is like really dramatic. She's over dramatic and she overthinks everything, and that's me 100% to a T. And I think even Kim has her moments in the show where she's just like, she's having like a total meltdown. And I tend to gravitate towards characters like that who have like absolute meltdowns over stuff that's just like, girl, it's not that serious, because that's me. I don't think logically, I just have a meltdown, you know. So yeah, I really love Kim. I really love her friend too. She was played by Raven. I forgot her friend. I think her name is Monique though. Monique, I really love Monique as a character as well. She's a very good best friend, you know, just a good best friend. I like it when Disney shows have good best friends, because there are some Disney shows that just have some really awful best friends, and it's just like, you two need to not be friends. It's very shaky. One friendship that I feel that way about, and I feel like I might get stomped out for saying this, but Alex and Harper from Wizards of Waverly Place, definitely a shaky friendship. Like, there are times in the show where Alex is just like so harsh to Harper, and it's just like, dude, just because you are like fucking pessimistic and you want to do things your own way, you don't have to be mean to your best friend. Like, there are just some, I remember there was some times where I watched and I was just like, why are you being mean to Harper? Harper did nothing wrong. Harper is also a character I identify with in Wizards of Waverly Place, but she only changed the trajectory of my life because I love her fashion choices, and that's what she's most known for now. She was very much the quirky, wacky friend, and I appreciated her a lot throughout that show. I don't think she gets appreciated enough. I remember when I was growing up, a lot of people found her very annoying, which is very sad. I'm very glad now that we're all grown up, we can have some common sense and see that Harper was a good part of the show. Like, don't be trying to play Harper. Harper was good. 10 out of 10, alright? 10 out of 10. She was carrying that comedic relief on her back. Don't do her, alright? I also have on this list Tabitha and Mo of Trinkets, but for Tabitha, she goes through something traumatic that I went through, so I relate to her because of that. I'm not gonna say it because, like, I don't want to trauma dump in this video. Like, I'm so happy right now. I don't want to do that. But if you watch Trinkets, if you haven't, go watch it. You'll start to see what I'm talking about. With Mo, she's just a misunderstood character. So, like, a lot of her choices is kind of, like, questionable. It's just like, Mo, why did you do that? But she's like, you start to realize her reasonings and why she does what she does, and she's not doing it out of a place of, like, she's not doing it with ill intentions, basically. So that's why I appreciate them. I don't really have much to say about them because Trinkets is a show that I just watched literally this summer with Zuni. We were gonna do a review on it and, like, speak about, like, things we didn't like, things we did like, but I eventually forgot about it. We were supposed to Skype call about it and everything and record it, but I guess that's dust in the wind. But yeah, I don't really have much to say. They're just really nice characters. I love them. Kiana, I think that's her name. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Kiana is such a good actor. She acted so well for Mo that it made me go watch Fair Street because she was in that. And I was like, ooh. So yeah. That's why I say, like, they changed the trajectory of my life. I think I would watch anything with the two actors in it. Don't like the white girl, so she was definitely the worst part of that show. So nothing for her, and nothing for Elodie. Now we have come to Raven Baxter, the absolute icon of Disney Channel. Disney Channel will never have another black protagonist like her. She is truly one of a kind, a gem. I was so shocked when I watched, I think I watched like 2 other people's Disney Channel rankings and, like, talking about them, and, like, they called That's So Raven boring and said, like, the show wasn't as good as it was hyped up to be. And you're wrong. Raven is such an interesting character, not only because she is so hilarious, but she oftentimes has a lot of insecurities and struggles that is not often shown in Disney Channel shows, you know? Like, a lot of Disney Channel characters go through, like, they have insecurities, but the insecurities are, like, so vapid compared to what Raven goes through in her show. I don't think you understand the way Raven coming forward, that one episode where she was a model and she got fat shamed, changed the trajectory of my life. Because I was like, oh my god, like, I got so upset for her. I'm skinny as hell, and I'm over here, like, yelling at my screen, like, let her walk. And it was something, I think I watched that episode when I was like super young when I watched it, and even I, like, understood the emotional gravity of that scene, and I'm just like, wow, like, I didn't know that was, like, a thing that happened, especially because at the time, especially when it came to media, that a lot of fat characters or plus size characters were, like, getting bullied and demonized on TV. Like, that they were, like, the butts of the joke. So I didn't understand the gravity of fat shaming until that That's So Raven episode. And it, like, and Raven is not even, like, she wasn't even, like, plus size. Like, trust me, go look at Raven Simone in the early 2000s. That is not a plus size woman, but the standards for weight and like beauty are so insane that people would literally look at her and think, yeah, she's kind of plus size, when in reality Raven is just curvy. She's just curvy. But the episode was just so impactful for me. It made me realize, it opened my eyes to something that I've never experienced and I never knew about. And the other episode that I remember on That's So Raven was, of course, the racism episode. Everybody remembers that episode. I cannot emphasize, you know that episode. That episode is still in your mind, fresh. That shit replays over and over. You cannot convince me otherwise. So impactful. Raven is just like, she's such a good character. I just love her. I just love her so much. There's so many reasons to love her. She's so caring. She's so kind. She's so funny. She just does. And like, one thing about Raven that I also really loved is that she never takes no for an answer. She will always try her way and always try to like get one over on somebody if they're trying to do her dirty or her friends dirty. And I really love that about her. There's just so many things to love about her. I don't get how you could watch that show and then come back and say like it's overrated or bad. I don't think it's overrated at all. Like, sure, there are some of the jokes in the show are like over the top a bit, but that's because of Raven herself and the whole vibe of the show. Like, even with her father is like, the show is just, I don't want to say campy because I feel like that's a word that might get beaten into the ground, especially because Disney Channel itself is very like corny, and that's like the point. It's supposed to be that way. I think a lot of people tend to like forget that, like especially when they look at Disney Channel now, they're like, why is this so cringy? Why is this so corny? It was cringy and corny years ago when you were watching it. That's the point. It's supposed to be campy. It's supposed to be over the top. That's the point. That's the point. If that upsets you, if that bothers you, you are 26. Stop watching Disney Channel, or stop, well, not watching Disney Channel, because I don't want to say like nobody is going out of their way to watch Disney Channel if they think it's over the top, but like I'll be giving some like meaningless as commentary. Like, you're 26, of course you're not gonna like it. Of course you're gonna see this and think it's too over the top, it's too over dramatic, it's too like weird. But when you were 16, 14, and 10, you were eating that shit up. So like, what's the issue? Like, come on. But whatever. I just really love Raven. I really love her. Like, she's just so iconic. This is making me want to go back and watch That's So Raven again. She's just so iconic. Like, there will never be another Raven Baxter. Never. I don't want the video to be super long, although like long videos are just like the thing on this channel. But I'm gonna start listing off characters that, although I love them, I don't really have much commentary to give on them. Like, I'm not gonna ramble about them for more than 10 minutes because like I love them, but I don't really have much to say. I just love them. First being Coco from Dear White People. We also have Alex and Cam from Twitches. We also have Connie and Pearl from Steven Universe. Now, let me just say, I do have a lot to say about Pearl. I think Pearl is one of the most complex characters in Steven Universe, and I feel like she is very misunderstood. I just get discouraged from speaking about her because like I feel like a lot of people's perception of Pearl is very black and white, and it makes me feel like it discourages me from speaking about her because I don't want anybody to come at my throat. Like, I'm not saying that there wasn't things that Pearl did that were like wrong, but I feel like the online analysis is that Pearl is a villain. Like, she was one of the villains in Steven Universe, and I don't think that's true. I feel like Pearl is just a morally great character, and I'm very confused as to why she's never treated that way. It's always so black and white when it comes to people speaking about Pearl. I also feel like the way y'all treat Pearl kind of speaks to how you treat trauma victims in general. Like, a lot of people just make it seem like, oh, is she never gonna get over it? And it's just like, she knew that woman for eons. And like, I don't know. Like, talking about Pearl just gets me stressed because I remember all the commentary about Steven Universe when it was playing out, and I just never liked what people said about Pearl. I just always felt like people were always wrong when it came to Pearl. Like, you just shouldn't talk about a person like that. And I know she's a cartoon character at the end of the day, but she's a cartoon character just like everybody else in Steven Universe who has things that reflect real life. It makes what y'all are saying about her kind of disgusting. Like, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. And that's why I just don't like talking about it. Because, like, I'm the type of person, especially when it comes to Steven Universe, because, like, people who watch Steven Universe love to debate about things that is just like, we don't need to debate about this. I have this opinion, you have this opinion. We watch the same show, but we had two different perspectives. Like, you don't have to debate me on that. I remember when I had made a comment, and I was basically defending Pearl, because basically, once again, they were, like, making it seem like all the trauma that she faced, she had to just get over it. She needs to get over it eventually. It's just like, who the fuck are you? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, let her work through her trauma. Obviously, she's gonna relapse, and that's what I hate. Like, people would make it seem like, oh, I would like Pearl more if she didn't whine about Rose and Rose this and Rose that, and it's just like, let her work through her trauma. She's not gonna just automatically forget Rose and forget everything that has been, between them, like everything they went through. She's not gonna forget that overnight, and she's definitely not gonna forget that in like 2 or 3 years. Like, it's so annoying. Like, people just had the most annoying takes about her. Once again, I'm not saying that she was perfect. She definitely wasn't, but she was a morally great character, and I thought you guys wanted more morally great characters. So what's the issue? You were given one on a silver platter, and you villainized her the entire show. What the hell is wrong with y'all? What the hell is wrong with y'all? Listen, I just can't. It was just like season 1. Of course, it wasn't that bad because season 1 of Steven Universe was still just like a silly cartoon. It didn't really get deep into it, but as like the story went on, I feel like people started to just treat Pearl like crap. Like, oh my god, you guys are sick people. I hope we never meet. I hope I never talk to you about anything, because Jesus Christ. And that also leads me into, like, when I see the way that people villainize Pearl, it reminds me of how people villainize Jules from Euphoria. I said that I was just going to run down the list and say characters that, I like and blah, blah, but I have to talk about this. I'm so sorry. The way Jules gets villainized all the time is so annoying. Once again, she is a morally great character. Is Jules always right? No. But to make it seem like she's the actual villain of Euphoria next to fucking Nate, you guys are insane. And that's why people oftentimes, they like compare your commentary to being transphobic, because the shit you are saying is such a bullshit. Like, it is literally such bullshit, and y'all literally harp on Jules so bad, but y'all don't do that for Nate. Like, you know that Nate is abusive, you know that Nate is an asshole, but because the actor that plays him is attractive, y'all seem to still post about Nate. Y'all post about Nate all the goddamn time. And it's always good commentary, even though Nate is an abuser, you're like, oh, well, I think Nate is cute and this and that. Like, y'all, I've literally seen good comments about Nate, like praise. Like, they're like, they treat Nate like the morally great character. That is not a morally great character. That is a villain. But y'all treat Jules like the villain. I hate y'all so much. Once again, you ask for morally great characters, and then you automatically just put them in the villain pile when they aren't villains. Ugh, so annoying. Not to mention that Euphoria was from Rue's perspective. So, in reality, Jules, half the shit that Jules did that y'all feel, my bad, that y'all felt were bad weren't even that bad. It's just that fucking Rue is so over dramatic and she's like so delusional. She's like imagining things 10 times as worse. Alright, and that's not me trying to say like you have no reason to not like Jules. Once again, she's a very morally great character. But I feel like when y'all talk about her, y'all don't take into the fact that once again, the show is from Rue's perspective. She's an unreliable narrator. And 2, she is a morally great character. There are so many things that Jules did in the show that were good that y'all don't speak about. Y'all just don't speak about it at all. Y'all just focus on the shit that she did that was bad. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. When season 2 comes, it's gonna be hell on earth because y'all think that y'all are so ahead of time by saying that Jules is a villain. Jules will never be a villain on this platform. On this page, on Shaprism, we are Jules stans, okay? Alright? She is a morally great person, and I am ready for her character development, okay? She will blossom into a great person. She is already a great person. It's just that people are literally stifling her growth, and she just wants to be free. And I feel like a lot of people also don't take in mind that Jules in the show is literally trans. A lot of the decisions... Ooh, I hit my keyboard. You must have heard that. A lot of the decisions that Jules makes in the show make sense as she is a trans character. Like, for example, a lot of people harp on the fact that at the end, Jules wanted to leave Rue, and they're like, oh, why would she do that? That's so heartless, this and that. I always knew she would leave. Like, if she wants to escape, she can. She can. I don't think you understand that life must be hell for her, alright? Like, you have to, like, people do not put themselves in Jules' shoes enough, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Everybody else, they got sympathy for motherfucking Maddie. Maddie who lied and said that dude literally, you know what, whatever. Once again, if Jules was played by someone who, 1, wasn't trans, and 2, was more, I guess, she was up to, like, society's beauty standards. Like, if she was a perfect cis girl. If she was played by just a regular woman on the streets, y'all would not have half the issues y'all have with her. No, you wouldn't. You cannot convince me. You cannot convince me of that. You're never convincing me of that because Maddie has done bad shit and y'all literally love her to fucking death. Like, shut the fuck up. Cut the mics off. I'm so sick of it. Come season 2, y'all better not say shit about my girl. You better not say shit about my girl. Do I ship her and Rue? Yes, but if it takes Rue and Jules breaking up for y'all not to talk about Jules anymore, God bless. Let Rue be lonely. Let the 2 of them be further apart. Like, I just can't. And it seems like y'all only ever want to talk about Jules in relation to Rue, like she's not her own person. So, once again, if it takes the 2 of them not being together for y'all never to talk about Jules again, please make it happen, writers. I'm so sick of it. Y'all never have good takes about Jules. I've never read a good take about Jules. Y'all are just haters. I cannot emphasize that enough. Y'all are haters. You see, you're making me yell. And I don't want to yell, but listen, like, every time I see a bad take about Jules, I just want to turn off my phone. Like, y'all are unbearable. Next case. I also have Princess Bubblegum on this list. I'm not even going to get into that. Like, y'all do not understand Princess Bubblegum at all. Y'all need to leave Miss Bonnabelle out your tweets, okay? Every other month is a hit tweet about Miss Bonnabelle and how y'all don't like her and how, oh, she's like the true villain. Like, congratulations. The show said that, by the way. Like, I hate seeing that take. It's so dumb because in the show, they acknowledge that she is a bad person. Hello? Like, did you miss a couple of episodes? It's made very clear in the show that she is a bad person. All right, we just don't care. I just don't care. I love her. I love her to death. I love her. I love her to death. Like, everybody has that one villain that they love, and they know that even though they've done some bad things, they just can't help but love them. Princess Bubblegum is that person for me, alright? I don't care that you... Listen, I need the takes... And here's the thing, right? People are harping on the fact that Princess Bubblegum is a bad person because of the bubbling ship. And you cannot convince me otherwise. Because, once again, just like with rules, niggas do not talk about Bonnabelle outside of that context. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, I'm so sick of seeing it. Like, leave Miss Bonnabelle alone. Alright? She's with her girlfriend, soon to be wifey. Like, she's just living her life. Like, leave her alone. Leave her alone. I think that's probably the worst thing. Like, even before then, before, like, HBO Max did, like, the little miniseries for them right now, I feel like before that I didn't see it. Like, I don't know. Just leave Bonnabelle alone, alright? Like, you're such losers. You're such losers. Like, have some hot takes about somebody else in the show. That's the thing about it. Like, now every time somebody has, like, discourse about Adventure Time, the first person they talk about is PB. Like, there are other characters in the show. Just admit that she is the most interesting character, and that's why you keep talking about her. Because that's what is given. That's what is given. We're the Finn discourse. That nigga is the main. That nigga is the face of the show. Where's the Finn discourse? None. Because you know who you tuning in for. Next case. Alright, I'm sorry for yelling. Back to, like, listing off characters. Addison from Zombies, one of my favorite characters. Literally love her so much. Who else is on this list? Brianna from 101. Penny Proud. We also have... I think that's it as far as, like... You also have Usagi from Sailor Moon. But as far as that, that's it for, like, characters that I can't say much about. Like, I have nothing to say about them. So now we move on to Miley Cyrus, or better known, Hannah Montana, alright? You Hannah Montana haters need to click off this video right now, alright? Hannah Montana, I'm so sick of seeing people be like, oh, if you like Hannah Montana, that means you like basic stuff. Like, we get it. You don't like popular shows, alright? Like, you're quirky, okay? Be quirky and leave me alone. I love Hannah Montana. It was literally, she gave the tunes. She gave the girls the tunes, the dramatics. Like, Hannah Montana felt like a soap opera for kids. Like, and I'm not even, like, exaggerating. Like, dead ass. Like, there were some moments in Hannah Montana that was just, like, so serious that didn't need to be serious, but it was. And I think that's why I kind of like Hannah Montana, and I like another show on this list that I'm going to say in a second, is because there are moments that it takes itself so seriously, even though it's not that serious. And once again, like every other character on this list, Miley oftentimes overthinks and over-exaggerates, and I love that about her because I see that in myself. She is also a great friend. She's also a great friend. Very rare for Disney Channel, okay? She has done things and, like... Listen, she's just a great friend. Like, I'm not even about to argue with that. Miley was genuinely a great friend. She was a great person as well. When people talk about Hannah Montana now, they talk about how it was so stupid that nobody could tell that it was her identity. Blah, 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 blah. It's a children's show. Like, get your head out your ass and turn off your brain. Like, come on. If you really got annoyed by the fact that her secret identity was never blown because all she had to do was put on a blonde wig, you need not to be watching Hannah Montana because you don't like to have fun. You don't like to have fun, alright? I am Hannah Montana, okay? We all have a Hannah Montana. When you log into that Stan Twitter account and you start clocking people despite the fact that you are a type of person who sits at lunch alone and you don't bother nobody, that's your Hannah Montana moment, okay? Alright? So don't go online and speaking shit about no fucking Hannah, alright? You are Hannah. You are Hannah. You don't like to admit it, but you are Hannah. We all have a piece of Hannah in us, alright? She was just so good. She was just so good. She had the most horrible wardrobe ever, and I looked at her and I was just like, you are going to be famous. And she was. And she was. Listen, once again, there will never be another Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus moment, okay? They trying to make that be with Olivia, and I'm glad that Disney finally got themselves another little star or whatever, you know. I wish her the best, but they will never have another Hannah Montana. And like they tried it again when with Austin and Ally, they tried to like do another like little Hannah Montana show. Flop. Austin and Ally is such a bad show. It is such a bad show. This is not the video to dunk on them, but bad show. Boo. You will never be Hannah Montana. You will never have the cultural impact of Hannah Montana, alright? But I can say that Hannah Montana has one of my favorite villains of all time, which is Amber. If you don't know who Amber is the black mean girl in the show. She is so iconic. One of my favorite Disney mean girls besides Sharpay. I genuinely know it's Sharpay, it's Amber, and Loca from That's So Raven. I had to go look it up because I literally love this so much. So the three of them are my holy trinity of Disney Channel mean girls. Like, they are so good at what they do. Alright? That's how you write a mean girl, alright? Hilarious, witty, pretty, and girly. Yes, that's how I like it. Alright? Hot and served.
We in the building, we in the party, we in the We getting money, we getting cards, and we getting I got the